Now, here you'll notice it says HSS. You don't spot weld single side on HSS. You want to go back to FEZN because no manufacturer recognises using single side welding on high strength steel especially. So you just press your material button again, turn the dial back to FE2N, hold the finger down till it says yes. That automatically now has it on FE2N, and you can now control this anywhere you want. So once again, if you wanted to do a spot weld, you simply put your tip in here. Once again, we'll notice that the tip shape here is a little too sharp. You might file that down to have a 4mm flat area and then just round the edges off a bit. Put that in. Even tightening by hand is fine. And you'll notice the other end is a wedge shape for welding the wiggly wire on. You make sure this here is like a clock. Down here setting is for dent repair with the slide hammer. So if you have this attachment in, or if you're welding any of the attachments on like that for dent repair, you have the light there. Rivets and lugs is for these two settings. Single side welding is for this setting. Shrinking is this setting here. And this setting here is roll welding. So that's quite simple. We're going to put it on here because we want to show single side welding. And that's our single side weld. Once again, if you want to adjust any of these, say for example we want to get 1mm to 1mm, a little bit more power. We haven't tested it to show you here, but you get the idea from what I did before. 1mm to 1mm. We hold the finger here. Flashing. We go to 95% power. We don't worry about hold time beforehand. But we go to slope. We might go to say 6 on the slope. On the weld time we might go 10. And then we go store once, store twice, hit the store button the second time, so it says yes. Now we've just upped the power of that setting. So you can see it's the same every single time. Now just a note, don't forget that when you go back from single side to double side, you change it back to HSS. That's the thing. Double side, this should always not be FE2N or ZN, it should go back to HSS. That's important. Okay. So that's using your single. Now a couple of notes with single side. You see you have your flat earth. The reason we have this type of earth on is not to be annoying. We know the nice plant ones would be good. The issue with this is you need as much of that surface area as possible. You're separating the contact from the positive to the negative. You need a big earth. It's not an arc weld like a MIG welder. So put as much of that surface area. We know sometimes you can only get half of it. That's okay. But make sure you don't just put a little corner on. That's a real important factor. Now the other thing we want to do, make sure, is we always put the earth on the panel that we're welding onto. You must create the circuit. Don't put the earth on the same panel as the one you're welding on, and then when you start, be within about half a metre of your earth and work back towards your earth every single time. You'll get the best results. If you blow a hole on both double side or single side welding, it's only because you lack pressure or you have a gap. So use a hammer, tap it down, get it right, and you'll be absolutely no problem with the welding process. So that gives you the basic rundown on both double side and single side on the Telwin 10,000. I'll just give you a quick demonstration of setting up the C-gun, and then we're about set. So we'll just undo our jack plugs, our connection. Put these in here. Now don't worry about which side goes where, it doesn't matter, it's okay on this particular one. When you do back to your single side setting, you must make sure that your trigger side or your torch side always is on the side of the control light. So the main cable, the main torch cable with the control cable connected should always go, if you're looking at the machine, on the left side. That is important. Whereas when you're using this one, not important. Put it in, make sure they're nice and firm. If they're loose, you can create a problem with arcing. Simple, just put them in, turn them till they're firm, done. Very simple. Now, once you plug your control cable back in, press start. And you'll notice it automatically knows it's on that little pincer gun. Okay. FE2N is exactly the same again, or ZN, that setting's correct. Once again, just choose what you're doing, probably 0.8 to 0.8 for a wheel arch. Put it on your wheel arch. Done. That's it. That's the whole setup to do it. Very, very simple machine to use. So as you can understand, everything is very logical, but that should be able to review on that at any time now and see how you can change it to more power, lock in a program, and that will be the program that you set. So we're going to give you the demonstration for setting up Telwin 10,000 for use. First of all, the off and on switch is at the back of the machine. We turn it on. You'll notice that as it comes up, it'll always go through its setup mode. This is normal. Comes up AL6. The only reason AL6 will come on is because the airline is not connected or there's a problem with the air. In this case, I haven't plugged it in yet. As soon as I plug it in, comes up STRT. You just press the start here as to what you want to do. So we put it on 0.6, we pick up the machine, we do a spot weld. 5,184 amps is displayed, and we may say that's fine, that's all I need for that, I'm happy with that size spot. If you're not happy with the spot weld size when you first get the machine, it's because these tips are very rounded. You may just want to use a smooth file, flatten the tips off a little bit, and then round the edges off. This will give you a larger diameter spot weld. However, in enlarging the size of the spot weld or the diameter of the weld, you must always go up a little bit more in the power. So, if you are not happy with one of the settings, for example, we do it on 0.8 to 0.8, and we think, well, let me see, I'll just do how much power that has. That's 5,517 amps on average. You may say, I want a little bit more power on that setting. All you have to do is go to here, hold down for 3 seconds on this little arrow button. It says 3 seconds, program. Now it's flashing on the percentage of power. You think, I want a bit more power. You might turn this up to say 75. This one here represents the amount of time it will hold the weld together, or the panels together, before it does a weld. And we're happy on 40, that's about right. But once again, you can adjust it up and down for what you want to do. Then you have slope, which means the amount of slope up the weld has as the process of the weld goes. On this particular setting, we have no slope set. Then we can go over to here, which is your time of weld, or the duration of the actual weld. We may say, all right, we want to go a little bit more. We're going to go 10 on this case. Then we also have over here jumps. You'll see it jumps, these two, is there only to be used on pulse, and they adjust the duration of the pulses and the amount of time. But we won't worry about that for now. Over to here, this setting is for the amount of clamp pressure or time it will hold the pressure after the weld. 50 is the maximum. That means that it allows enough time so when the weld is finished, it'll hold it so that the metal can cool itself off and increases the strength of your weld. So once you set that, it's still flashing. To save that program, all you do is press store once, and then you hold it down until it says yes. And that is exactly the same function for adjusting any of these. We set it up for you from standard when you get your machine. However, if you want to do any adjusting, that is exactly the process you use to adjust any of these. For example, for the first time after having the machine for some time, you may end up doing a thicker panel, for example a sill panel section or a radiator support section, and it's 2mm to 2mm. You may do the spot weld and not be happy with it. Once again, we'll try this. We put it on. Now that's saying that it's on 5,438 amps to do that thick stuff. That's not quite enough. So what do? We simply go back up to here. You see the light stays on there. And each time we adjust it, we're not adjusting all of them on there. We're simply adjusting that setting on 2 to 2. So we once again hold it for 3 seconds. Now when we get up to 2 to 2, that's quite thick, so we'll go up to say 90% power. Time before the weld, about the same, 25 is good. The slope, we might go up to say a 7.5 slope. Time, we'll go to 20. And hold time after, we'll go to 50. Now that's the settings I want to do for that time. Once again, Store once, hold it down. Now, every time it comes to 2 to 2, that is the program. So we'll do another weld again. 6,573. And you can see the weld is massively increased in its size and its power. Once again, you can go higher, you may just want to adjust more power, may adjust more slope, may adjust more time. Those three are the main three that you'll ever want to adjust. Okay, so that's setting up for double side. Before we go, we'll just change the arms over just to highlight how simple it is to do it. So we'll just turn the machine. Now you'll notice the arms all have a place to hang. For example, your 500mm arms actually have a hanging point on the other side. And inside the machine you'll see those holes. All the other arms sit down in there. Now, if we're going to change these arms over, your Allen key that comes with the machine, you undo this Allen key, undo this Allen key, pull the arm out, undo this Allen key, undo the Allen key, pull the arm out. Now we put this arm in the bottom or top. This can go in either side, it doesn't matter, it just depends on which side you need for the beaver panel or job you're doing. Put the arm in. Now we push this up. Now we line them up. Now at the moment you can see that's not quite lined up, but we just want to get it straight this way first. So we set it. Now we'll adjust this one out. Now you'll also notice when you get your machine, all the arms are preset. We have actually preset every single arm. The length from here to here is absolutely correct. We'll also send you, we have a guide that tells you the correct measurement from here to here and here to here, and then all you do is set it at that and you know your pressure is right. We've pre-tested this. And now we pick up the machine and that's it. We've changed the arms over. Very simple, very easy. So if we want to go now to single side welding, all we do is change our control plug here. Now as soon as we pull that out, it says no co or no control. We take this out here, that's all connected. We just change over the connection for single side to the control plug. As soon as we plug that in, it comes back up start. Press start. And you'll notice automatically it's chosen the light on single side. It knows, the machine always knows what it is going by the jack or the control.